What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got an amazing XRP video to go over with you all today. And if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. And I'll do my utmost best to keep you as up to date as possible with everything XRP as it transpires. We've got a few other things that we're working on, so do keep an eye out for those. I think you'll be very interested and come out with a very bullish outlook. And my current perspective on XRP is, for a lot of us, we are holding this asset because it is going to gain value in the future. And what a lot of people fail to understand is XRP is not going to be holding for a lot of these retail investors in the future. Instead, they're likely going to be transacting at that face value. So it doesn't matter how much the coins cost for them because, again, they're simply going to transact at face value. We need to start to understand that XRP is likely going to be one of 10 cryptos that make it out of this huge bubble in the years to come, in the same way that the dot-com era produced things like Samsung, Apple, Google, these kind of things. But again, when we're seeing a big sea of red, when we've had what was supposed to be October turn into Downtober, you're really going to be looking for passive income. This is when I start to look at my assets that I hold that are giving me returns. Things like Terra Classic. And Terra Classic has a huge stigma around it. And again, what a lot of people fail to understand is if you grab some, you can stake it. And while you stake it, you're getting returns, not just in LUNC, but in USTC as well. This leaves you in a position where times like Downtober, which was supposed to be Uptober, turn into stable Tober. It turns into passive income. So when I think about my everyday transactions, I think about crypto.com because they have a seamless experience. If I want to go from crypto back to my bank account, I can do that in under 1 minute. The longest part about it is going and doing all of the security checks, not the actual transaction itself. In fact, because Crypto.com abide by UK regulations, they abide by the FPS payment system. Now, the FPS payment system is going to be something that XRP ends up replacing in the years to come. So again, these are the reasons why I hold all of these different assets. But Crypto.com have a very, very good debit card, and I have to shout them out for this. But I have been led astray today. Essentially, I'm being turned to the dark side. Because when I think about Uphold, they had a debit card program before. It was a cancellation that just happened. There wasn't really a lot of information. It was never really publicly acknowledged until today, until around 21 minutes ago. And what they're doing is not just relaunching a debit card. They're relaunching a whole new rewards program that circulates around XRP. And this is the real key part of this. Now, a lot of other platforms are likely going to follow suit. Why? Because there's a lot of us. There are tons and tons and tons of XRP holders that do understand that if you hold it now, retail is going to transact it and they will push the price up. So going and looking at this article where they're saying, oh, well, it's just in the US. Uphold are doing this in the US and the United Kingdom. So this is really good for all of us here on the channel. Now, I don't know about you as an XRP holder, but I'm always looking for ways to earn more XRP. And if I don't have to use my XRP to do this instead, I just move my everyday transacting from Crypto.com's debit card to the Uphold debit card. Well, I'm going to be earning up to 6% in XRP rewards when you're spending crypto or stable coins using their debit card. And not only are they going to do this, but they're also going to allow clients to opt in for depositing, right, part of your paycheck to earn another 4% in XRP rewards. So for someone like me who pays for servers, backends, all of these different things, bare metal, service clouds, this is all paid in dollars, right? So I just move everything from my crypto.com card to this new Uphold card, and not only, right, will I be getting that up to 6% for transacting, I'm also going to be getting a further 4% for simply just migrating my deposit to this new card, which again is going to be available in the UK and in the US. This is overly bullish for every single XRP holder out there. Not just because now you can earn XRP without having to weaponize your XRP, but people are starting to use and utilize this thing because guess what? There's tons and tons and tons of holders. So going over to the Uphold website, as you can see here, this isn't just a article which is a rumor, which is what we see a lot of the times, right? It's kind of them speaking about a platform's idea to introduce something. No, this is, it's ready, it's there, you know, that you can get it today. So I've already gone ahead. I've done everything. And I'll leave you guys links to this in the description. It's not financial advice or anything like that, but I assume you guys would want to have a look at this for educational purposes, right? But I have opted in for this. I think this is groundbreaking. Any way that I can earn passive income, right? And this is something a lot of people fall short of. You are too busy chasing green. You are too busy chasing meme coins, flashing green candles, those big green candles, right? Looking for those big wins, that one win that is going to solve all of your life problems, right? And it's going to give you a Lambo tomorrow, a mansion the day after that. The likelihood of that happening to you, me, or anyone else listening to this is very slim, right? But when you start to opt into passive income, right, like I do on Terra Classic, which again, it's heavily stigmatized, right? You opt into these things and you start to build up actual wealth, right? You start to build up this dry powder that we always talk about here on the channel. Now, this card's actually really good. Again, in the UK, I don't know how it works in the US, but they have to abide by all of the same laws that crypto.com abide by. So this means going from Uphold, you know, to your bank account should be again done by these FPS payments. So although, right, and you have to take this part of the pinch of salt, although they did discontinue their previous debit card program, I think this is different. I think crypto is in a far different place than it was 2 years ago. Now, why do I think this? Well, the Genius Act, right? This stable coin act, all of this regulation that's unfolding in the US and in Europe and in my country, you know, we've got MiCA regulations. This thing's pretty well regulated, and the US, as much as you might not think, they're playing a catch-up game at the moment. They're trying to catch up with MiCA regulations. And yeah, like I said, we're in a different place than we were 2 years ago. So the likelihood is not just going to be Uphold, because as I was recording this video, right, I had to pause and I had to start again because I got a notification on my phone, and it is a 6% in rewards, right? And these are flash rewards for your credit debit card on crypto.com right now. And the likelihood is this is a response to what Uphold are doing, because we need to understand crypto.com lead the pack when it comes to debit cards. Why? Because they're so damn good at it. Now, I was a big believer in Crow. Obviously, I hold Crow. That's how you get the debit card to begin with. You buy a little bit of Crow and you stake it. And I just don't feel that crypto.com themselves and the leadership team have taken the right course of action, if you will, and Crow's not really done what he should have done. We've had that big movement in price recently, but it's not something I look at and say, well, this is a product that has a use and use case. It doesn't. You buy it, you stake it, that's it. Like, you're doing it to get the card. XRP is here for the long run. I truly believe it will be, let's say if there's going to be 10 that make it out of it, I think it's going to be in the top 3. You know, this thing has been through the craziest court case in history, and it's very deeply rooted. Nearly everybody inside of crypto and outside of crypto likely know what XRP is. Just because of the court case, I'm going to continue dollar cost averaging. I've jumped in on this card. I'm going to be going and getting these rewards everywhere that I can, and I'll let you know how I'll get on with it. I'll do like a video when I get the card. I'll go out, I'll do a couple of transactions, and we'll weigh it out, and then I'll give you guys an average of what I'm going to get back based on how much I'm spending per month. And hopefully that will give you an idea, kind of, is this worth it for you or isn't it worth it for you? For me as an XRP holder, this is definitely worth it. So like I said, I'll leave links to Uphold. I'll leave links, again, this is available in the US and the UK. So regardless of where you're from, you can opt in for this. Obviously, it could be available in a lot more countries. I primarily have a viewership here that is US and UK based. So, a lot of this content is directed at you guys, but this is a huge win for us in the UK. We don't normally get these kind of things. It had been slimming down as to how many CEXs were actually available. Things like MEXC are still not available in the UK. So to see that Uphold are making these leaps and bounds is very good. And then more importantly for us as XRP holders, it's more use case for XRP, right? Transacting at that face value whilst the value gets driven up while you and I hold our pretty little bags to possibly $1 million bags, depending on how much XRP you're holding. This thing is likely, it's going to do a Bitcoin. It's not likely, it is. It's going to do a Bitcoin, period. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. Aside that, subscribe if you haven't already, drop a like, drop a comment, all of those different things. And just stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, my good friends. And I will catch you in the next one.